Hey!
Welcome to another episode of The Wave. My name is Adam.
My name is Nick. Welcome aboard. It is the weekly news and chat show from the world famous Bottom of the Stream podcast. We are back. We are big. We are bang up for it.
We're always bang up for it. We're a bit delayed. The computer decided that this was a great time to do some updates.
Yeah.
We've had to sit and chat for 40 minutes.
They best be good.
They best be good. It best be a good computer now.
Your computer is now, like, you know, is gained sentence.
Hopefully. Then it can sort itself out next time. So we might be a bit short on chat because we've just done it for the last 40 minutes. How are you, Nick?
There's always more chat. I'm good. We've got a new pet in our house. Well,
Okay.
loads of new pets.
Right.
This is quite a retro thing. My daughter got some sea monkeys for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
And they've all we started them last week, and they're all just pinging around all over the place in this
Excellent.
little.
I had some sea monkeys when I was about their age.
Yeah,
they're really cool.
fascinating.
Yeah, they are really cool little
Fascinating little shrimpy dudes.
Because they don't need oxygen. Because they're in like a sealed environment, aren't they?
Well, essentially, they'd live in like a puddle, wouldn't
How long
they?
did they live for?
Well, according to the literature that comes with it,
Yeah.
like up to 3-4 months.
Oh, really?
If looked after properly.
Wow. What do you have to do with them? Do you have to feed them?
There is you give them like a tiny little bit of food every 5 days, I think it is.
Oh, right. Cool.
But yeah, so that's exciting. Really difficult to name them and keep track of them.
Yeah, I imagine quite
really
a few.
Difficult. But yeah, I will keep you updated on our adventures with them.
Excellent. Get some photos.
How are you? How's
good.
your week been?
Interesting.
Okay.
Not a lot's really happened.
Transport problems?
It's transport problems. I had a puncture this morning when I got out of bed. In the car, not in my...
Looked like your tyre had melted.
It did, didn't it?
In the photograph you showed me. And in our Discord.
But yes,
Another
I
reason
did
to join the Discord.
see my tyre. Why not? So I had that little kerfuffle this morning, but it's all fixed now. It cost me 22 quid, so not a problem. I was only 50 minutes late for work.
That's a good result.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. I've won some chocolate.
Lovely.
That's always good.
Just,
Won a prize. That's nice. That's about it. That's my week.
I'd say that sounds pretty acceptable as a week.
Yeah.
As far as they go.
Not bad. We need to, before we start this week's episode, we need to address some controversy.
Okay.
From last week's episode.
Oh, last week's movie show.
Last week's movie show.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there.
This week in our Discord was like a garbage fire one day this week. Everybody was going off in there. Take the 10 was last week's movie.
It was the Josh Peck and Tony Revolori comedy.
Yes, that we thought was okay, mediocre, inoffensive, not bad.
Yeah, just like a fine way to pass 80 minutes.
Everybody else thought it was the worst thing that's ever happened to humanity. It did not. You seem to have taken the brunt of it as well, which I've quite enjoyed. Because usually if something controversial happens in this show, it's usually my fault.
Honestly, I thought it was fine.
It is fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what all these people
it's
are
not a
talking
good
about.
movie.
No, it's not. We never claimed it was a good movie.
I thought after I'd watched it, well, I'm probably never going to have to talk or consider this movie again. Oh boy, was I wrong.
You have taken a beating this week.
Quite the hot topic.
I don't know what's gone on. I don't know what people's problem is. I can kind of see it, but not. People were trying to tell me this week that it's worse than Smart Christmas. And I'm like, you people are crazy. You people are crazy.
I think it's nowhere near the sort of bottom rung of movie.
No.
Like when I consider some of the absolute trash we have watched over these 8 seasons.
Yeah.
This is not good, but it's not in those.
It's not at that level.
No.
It just isn't.
It's a mess, and it's had an absolute job done on it in the editing room.
Yes,
and I think there's
100%.
probably as we said in the episode last week, there's a bit of a story there of what this movie was, its director wanted it to be and what it ended up being. But
I don't know what happened.
It passed the time, and I thought it was all right.
Yeah, everybody else thinks it's the worst film ever made, and that we should be annihilated for even watching it. It's been an interesting week in the office.
I even sat down one lunch break this week. I was like, I need to look at this again. So I got the stream table out.
Yeah.
And I spent 10 minutes
just staring at it.
Could I move this? And I'm not saying this to wind people up. I genuinely don't think I would move it. I think
I would listen to the argument of it going below the ledge. It ended up, for those who don't know,
that's an absolute toss of a coin for me.
Yeah, it ended up in 6 in the stream table. There's 11 in there currently, so it's banging mid-table.
Yeah.
I would listen to the argument that it's going, but I think I wanted it below the ledge at one point. But I wouldn't have it any lower.
No.
It's not as good as Smart. It's not as good as Smart Christmas is nowhere near as good. Needle in a Time Stack, Another Round, The Mansion, and The Ledge are all below it, justifiably. They're all worse films than it.
Yeah.
And that is the final word on Take the 10.
Look at us. Got each other's backs.
We have got each other's backs. We are teaming up against our Discord friends to say, we are right, you are wrong. The end. There will be no further discussion of Take the 10 in the bottom of the stream episodes or Discord. Thank you. The end.
Consider the line drawn.
Nick, do you have any Netflix news?
Yeah, loads.
Cool.
I mean,
what we got?
Let's start with an update from Netflix on their plans to crack down on password sharing.
Yeah, this is coming in a big way, isn't it?
Yeah, we know that last year the test was run on a few South America countries, wasn't it?
Yes, Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, somewhere like that.
Yeah, that Netflix will be charging a small additional fee for anyone who wants to share their account with someone at another address.
Yeah,
and they're saying that has been successful, and that will be expanded out this first quarter of 2023,
which is already a third of the way through a quarter.
Correct.
I'm really intrigued to see how they're going to police this.
Yeah, me too.
How do you account for people who are travelling, people who are in hotels?
Exactly.
People who are using their account
fairly,
but in a different place that is not their house.
Yeah.
I'd like to know how they're going to police that.
Because I, for example, do have to travel for work.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And I will sometimes watch Netflix from a completely different part of the country.
Yeah, exactly. How do they know that you're not using your account?
Yeah.
Or I'm really intrigued to see how they're going to police. It's all right them saying we're going to do this quarter. I want to know how they're going to do this.
Exactly. Netflix have said, whilst our terms of use limit use of Netflix to a household, we recognise that this change for members. This is a change for members who share their account more broadly. As we roll out paid sharing, members in many countries will have the option to pay extra if they want to share Netflix with people they don't live with. As is the case today, all members will be able to watch while travelling, whether on a TV or mobile devices. But even so, how are they making that distinction? Yeah. Netflix continued, as we work through the transition, we expect that some borrowers may stop watching either because they don't convert to extra members or full paying accounts. So we understand that some of our metrics could be negatively impacted. However, we have seen a pattern in Latin America where engagement has grown over time.
So basically, they're going to take it away. Nobody's going to sign up, and then over time, people are like, "I really miss having Netflix. I'm going to start an account."
Yeah.
I don't know. We've been talking about it a while. It looks like something's going to happen over the next few weeks. So we'll keep you informed on it. But I'm really intrigued 100%. To see how they're going to police it.
Yeah. More details on that as we hear it.
Yes.
Because as you quite rightly say, it doesn't give them a whole lot of time to roll that out.
It doesn't. Unless it's already ready to go and they just need to...
They probably just literally got to push a button, haven't they?
Yeah, just need to press a button to see what happens.
A controversy this week.
I saw this, yeah.
Real life Squid Games. There have been some conflicting reports about some potential injuries as Netflix films the reality show version of Squid Game.
Yeah, they're doing a real life Squid Game.
Yeah, which we've talked about before. 3 people this week received medical treatment during filming of the Squid Game reality TV show. But Netflix has been forced to release a statement to say claims of serious injury are untrue. This show has been being filmed currently in the UK.
Yes, it is.
It has been very cold the last couple of weeks.
It has been very cold.
Netflix said that 3 people were treated for mild medical conditions and that we care deeply about the health and safety of our cast and crew. Netflix continued and said, medics have been on set at all times and we have invested in all the appropriate safety procedures. While it has been very cold on set, participants were prepared for that, and any claims of serious injury are completely untrue.
I'm intrigued. I'm really intrigued to see what this show's going to be.
Yeah, there have been a couple of reports that there were some issues whilst red light, green light was being played.
Oh, really?
For the amount of time people were outside, basically.
In the cold.
Because it has been very cold.
The 456 people playing that game. It's going to take a long time to get through them all.
Potentially, yeah.
Because what happens in the show is everybody just runs at the start and they all get shot.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen in real life.
No, they've seen the
potentially
Squid
be outside
Game
all day. Yeah, exactly. It's the biggest ever reality TV show with the biggest ever reality TV show prize. It's £3.8 million, $4.56 million. 456 contestants taking on the show.
We'll see that by the summer.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm really excited.
It's going to be a pedal to the metal to get that out.
Yeah. 100%. They've got to keep that property alive.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
As is tradition, and just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. Just as we finished last week's recording.
It was literally I think I just shut the front door to let you out.
It was announced that Netflix co-founder and co-CEO Reed Hastings, mentioned many times on The Wave, has stepped down from his role. But he will continue as executive chairman, but he has stepped down from the co-CEO role.
He's to go and enjoy some of this Netflix money he's made over the years.
Yeah, but there will still be co-CEOs. Ted Sarandos is
good old Teddy boy
staying in place as one of those, and he will be joined by Greg Peters, previously the company's chief product officer.
Chief product officer.
Yeah. Hastings said in his statement, in the last 2.5 years, I have increasingly delegated the management of Netflix to those two. He said that Sarandos and Peters had been the two that had dealt with the challenges of the pandemic and upheavals in the streaming industry. He said they had a baptism of fire given all those challenges, but both of them have managed incredibly well, ensuring Netflix continues to improve and develop a clear path to re-accelerate our revenue and earnings growth. So the board and I believe it is the right time to complete my succession.
Excellent. Oh, it'd be a shame to not talk about old Reed Hastings much anymore. I'll miss his name coming up. Did you see Ted Sarandos' controversial statement in the week?
It may be on the news here.
Well, leave it then and we'll get to it
yeah,
later.
It may be the very next news item.
Okay,
because
cool.
Talking of the top brass at Netflix.
That wasn't an unplanned segue, but it worked beautifully.
There's been some quite bold statements made this week.
Yeah?
By our friend, as with an interview with Bloomberg, the two new co-CEOs, Greg Peters and Ted Sarandos, made quite the few couple of statements. They were asked about their relationship with some of the creative forces behind Netflix shows and how it felt to sort of have bad feedback from viewers when a show's cancelled.
Yeah.
And Sarandos, he went all in.
He did. He did not hold back in this statement.
He said, we have never cancelled a successful show. A lot of these shows were well intended, but talk to a very small audience on a very big budget. The key to it is that we need to be able to talk to a smaller audience on a small budget and a large audience at a large budget. If we continue to do that, then we can do that forever.
I think it's a fair point.
The logic is fine.
Yeah.
The statement, we have never cancelled a successful show,
it's a bold thing to pin your tail on.
I can think of at least one.
Go on.
The one that springs to mind for me is Glow.
Yeah.
Because it was cancelled.
It was mainly cancelled.
With some filming already done of its final season.
The pandemic didn't help Glow, did it? I think it fell at the wrong time and contracts expired whilst
they struggled to get people back together. Yeah. That was a successful show they cancelled.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But yeah, that was mitigating factors.
I don't care.
No, okay, fine.
It's a relevant example.
I think what we've learned from that statement is that Netflix have a algorithm and they are happy with it.
Yeah.
And as far as they're concerned, if that show doesn't fall in that algorithm, you have not got a successful show.
Is your show giving a return on its investment?
Yes or no?
Simple as that.
Simple as that. You can be...
If you're under that line...
Yep, you're not a successful show. You can say...
That's business, folks.
We have never cancelled a successful show, but you're making the rules on what a successful show is.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can say it all you want, and you can be right about it.
Under that sort of logic...
Yeah.
Breaking Bad's not getting a second series.
No, it wouldn't.
You look at the sort of snowball effect of that show.
Yeah.
And I know it doesn't always work like that.
It nearly got
word
cancelled
of
after
mouth.
season 2 anyway.
Exactly. But
what we're saying
that
is
show
Netflix
doesn't
would have
happen
cancelled
under this model.
it. It doesn't happen on Netflix. No.
No, it gets canned.
Yeah.
Gets canned.
Yeah, and it does make you wonder when a show goes after 1 or 2 seasons, would that have been the next Breaking Bad after 5 or 6 seasons?
Yeah.
It does make you wonder. Things like The Watcher, would that have been... Not The Watcher, what's the one on the boat? 1899.
1899.
Could that have been the next Breaking Bad, given a few more seasons? You just don't know.
Yeah.
And you will never know.
Yeah.
But TV has changed. Even in that short time between Breaking Bad and now.
Yeah.
TV viewing styles has changed so
100%.
much
Yeah.
that you can't even... It's apples to oranges. Yeah, I read that. I thought it was quite an interesting, very bold statement from Mr. Sarandon.
How can we make some news with our new
Yeah.
appointment? Here you go. Let's lob this grenade over the
controversial
fence.
statement now. It did not go down on the socials very well.
You can go and find now the first trailer for Netflix's We Have a Ghost.
Okay, what's that?
The fantasy comedy drama We Have a Ghost, starring David Harbour.
Everybody loves David Harbour at the minute, don't they?
A bowling shirt clad David Harbour
Oh, yeah.
as a ghost on the run from the CIA.
This sounds excellent. Is it a TV show or a film?
It's a movie. It's directed
Okay.
by Christopher Landon, who you might know, because he directed Happy Death Day.
Oh, I do know.
It follows a pair of teenagers who discover and befriend Ernest, a mute ghost haunting the old house that the family moves into. When news of Ernest's existence spreads across social media, it attracts the attention of opportunistic hucksters and the federal government, who will stop at nothing to apprehend and experiment on him. They then embark on a road trip to help Ernest elude the authorities and help to put his soul to rest.
Well, this sounds incredible.
I mean, I have watched the trailer. It's a good
Okay.
trailer. Check it out. It's given me it's that sort of 80s vibe.
Yeah.
That it feels like a movie that is a concept that I would have seen when I was a youngster.
A youngster
Yeah.
back in the 80s.
Yeah.
All those years ago.
80s or 90s. I can't remember the
Like an 80s,
Probably-
90s family movie
Yeah.
type situation.
Yeah.
Cool, okay.
David Harbour's quite malleable, isn't he?
Yeah, he can do anything.
But even with sort of you can hawk him up to be Action Man, but also doesn't take much to make him an old bold
Ghost.
ghost.
No, it doesn't. I see Violent Nights had a sequel commission this week as well.
exactly.
So I expect that next Christmas.
Yeah.
Do you want to do this one or do you want to skip it and do that at the end?
We can skip it. Yeah.
It's up to you. You're the newsman.
Okay. Well, we're skipping it.
Okay. Next.
We talked last week about some music biopics
We did.
that are coming. Amy Winehouse and Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, this week news of a music biopic that has been put back on the shelf,
Oh, right. Okay.
and that's Madonna.
Oh. Did we talk about this biopic?
Yeah, we
a while
did.
back? Yeah.
Do you know why we talked about it?
Why?
Because Madonna was going to direct it.
Yes, I remember now.
Which sounds like a really weird experiment
Really
to
does.
direct your own biopic. Well, it's gone back on the shelf because Madonna's decided to go and do a world tour for 2 years.
Oh, so just let somebody else direct it then. Let Guy Ritchie do it.
Yeah, don't if that would work. That might be a completely different movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Julia Garner was even signed up for the lead role.
Oh, really?
Diablo Cody's had a go at the script,
Wow.
but it's no longer in development.
Fair.
So that's, a lot of money spent on it, and probably got to pay a few contracts out. Now it's not happening.
Yeah, Madonna's just like, right, I'm just going to make some money instead.
But I guess the money she can make from 2 years on a world tour,
Much
she probably
more.
doesn't really care.
Much more.
Yeah, so that's gone on the shelf. Will it ever come back? No idea.
Let's hope not. Next.
Sports movies.
Sports movies. We've done lots of sports talk this week.
Sure.
these
So
last few weeks.
another biopic, but this time of the sports variety,
Okay.
is that... I don't know if there's enough material on this, but Prince Nazim Hamed,
The boxer from the 90s?
yeah,
Okay.
is getting the sports biopic treatment.
Right.
Paddy Considine has signed up for it to play the trainer
I was going to say, it's...
with Mina Masood as Nazim Hamed.
Okay.
It
That's a
will-
name I haven't thought of for 20 years.
Same. The film will follow the true story of Hamed's humble beginnings on the tough working class streets of Sheffield and his discovery by his trainer Brendan Ingle, a steel industry worker turned boxing trainer. Their unlikely partnership, along with Naz's unorthodox style, cocky persona and dominance in the ring, propelled them to the top of boxing's elite, all in the face of Islamophobia and racism.
I mean,
Was
it
he-
sounds like a
was
good
he-
story.
Yeah, I don't recall him being
What?
like having racism against him once
No.
he was big. Maybe, I'm sure he did on his.
He
on
just
his
seemed
way
to come
up.
out of nowhere, get huge,
burnt
and then
hot,
disappear.
and then burnt out.
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about boxing. He might have been around for years, but
Sylvester Stallone's a producer. I mean, he knows a couple of things about boxing
he
movies.
does. He does
to
know
be
boxing
fair.
movies. I don't think there's anybody who knows boxing movies better.
So it feels like that's a decent team.
Yeah. Paddy Considine doesn't do bad movies. There's a statement. I'm sure somebody will prove me wrong. Next.
Is there a big clamour for a third Tron movie?
No.
Because we're getting it.
Okay.
I did not realise that Tron Legacy was... It is now 13 years old.
Whoa. No, nor did
no
I.
other way of putting it.
Wow.
Two
I don't
thou-
think I've seen that.
2010 it came out. I remember seeing it.
I don't remember seeing it. I might have seen it. I don't even think that's the news here. I think the casting is the news here.
So it has been confirmed this week. There was apparently rumours of a reboot coming along.
Okay.
But no, this will be the third Tron movie. Tron Ares will be a direct sequel to Tron Legacy.
Right.
No plot details have yet been released, but the lead is cast. It's Jared Leto. Leto.
Who cares? Don't cast Jared, and whatever his name is, don't cast him in your films.
He will be playing the titular Ares.
Why? Why is Jared Leto getting work? Isn't he like running a cult on an island in Spain somewhere at the moment?
Yeah, probably. Just go back to your... Make your
Just fuck off.
shit music.
Okay, well, that's another Tron film I'm probably not going to watch.
It's going to be directed... it's a Disney movie. Yeah, going to be directed by Joaquin Roning,
I said Rakim Phoenix.
who is kind of a Disney director for hire. He directed the last Pirates of the Caribbean, Salazar's Revenge,
Okay, the bad one.
and also the sequel to Maleficent.
Oh, right. I've not seen that.
So yeah, next he's taking on Tron 3.
Nice.
More Tron with a vengeance.
Tron with a dickhead.
More neon.
Good luck with that. Next.
Oh, this was my and finally one. Oh god, I was supposed to make you not click on it, and now I've ruined it.
sorry.
Right, Showcase Cinemas,
Yep.
who are a cinema, have done a survey of the British cinema-going public, or the public that go to their cinemas,
Okay.
because they wanted to know what is Britain's favourite comedy movie,
Sounds like a real talk.
and
They've stolen our idea, Nick.
yeah, it does. I think you'll be surprised at the results. I have the top 10.
Okay. Well, I've only seen the top one, so I can do some guessing if
Are
you
you
want.
surprised by the top one? Without
It's a
saying who
good
it is?
film.
But are you surprised it's
Yes.
Britain's favourite comedy movie of all the comedy movies ever?
I would have it in my top 10.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I'm not a
It
big...
just seems very random.
It is very random to be at number 1.
Let's reveal the results of the Showcase Cinema survey.
Do you want to give me some hints on the movies and I'll see if I can guess them?
Okay.
Just play a little game.
Sure. No problem.
Do we want to reveal what's number 1?
No, we do that at the end.
Okay.
That's how countdowns work.
Okay. I'm getting excited. Sorry.
Number 10
Yep.
is, I think, possibly your favourite comedy.
Napoleon Dynamite.
No.
Okay.
Horror comedy.
Horror comedy.
Yeah.
Who's in it?
Simon Pegg.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead at 10.
Okay.
Okay.
I would have had it a bit higher.
It's not the highest Edgar Wright movie in this top 10.
There isn't an Edgar Wright movie that's
You
better
can
than Shaun of the
see why I
Dead.
wanted to talk about this.
Okay.
In fact, number 9 in Britain's favourite comedy
Yep.
movies, according to Showcase Cinemas, is another Edgar Wright movie.
Hot Fuzz?
Correct.
Hot Fuzz isn't better than Shaun of the Dead in anybody's world. Stupid.
Number 8 is a bona fide classic movie.
What decade?
I think it's early 80s. It might be late 70s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But
Who's in it?
Dan Aykroyd?
Ghostbusters?
No.
I don't know them.
It's think more.
Coneheads?
No, of course it is. Yeah, think more musical.
Oh, Little Shop of Horrors?
No,
I don't know them.
the Blues Brothers.
Oh, of course. Dan Aykroyd's not even in Little Shop of Horrors.
No, all his mates are. He's like that. Number 7
Yeah.
is
I'm going to be terrible at this. I don't know why
an
you told me.
80s slapstick. There was a trilogy of them. We talked about this. The lead guy came up in our greatest comedic performances chat last week.
I don't know.
It's The Naked Gun.
I've told you to do this, and I'm terrible with comedy movies, so just don't do it.
Okay. Number 6, for a reason that I couldn't even fathom, is Meet the Parents.
Really?
Yeah, this
Okay.
is the 6th my favourite comedy movie of the British public. Number 5 is The Hangover.
Yeah, okay, I can.
It made a big impact,
It did.
that movie, when it was out.
It did.
Number 4 is Elf.
Okay. Christmas film.
Yeah. Top 3. I don't think you can argue with 2 of them.
You're not sure on this first one, are you?
I'm not sure. I'm just surprised that it is out ahead. So number 3 is Airplane.
Yeah, okay.
Number 2
Great
is
film.
Monty Python's Life of Brian, which I thought was nailed on to be the
Yeah, you'd
top
think
one.
so, wouldn't you?
But they are all paling in comparison to the number 1 UK's favourite comedy movie of all time.
Yeah.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
I thought Mrs. Doubtfire.
I think this was a multiple choice question. That's my
I didn't think it had aged well, and I thought it had some controvery around some of its themes these days.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that's happened. I was more
I mean,
surprised to find that
he put his kids through a lot in that
he
movie.
did, yeah.
And I'm not sure that holds on.
I was even more surprised to hear that it's coming to the West End as
It
like
is,
a
yeah,
musical.
there's a whole musical,
Yeah.
which again makes me suspicious of is there
Yeah.
some
Yeah, something's happening here.
co-authoring of this list.
Yeah. Mrs. Doubtfire is a great film.
Yeah,
I don't think it's aged very well. I think that some of the themes in it are
it's not even Robin
maybe
Williams'
dated.
best comedy movie.
It's not. It actually isn't. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe something's happened there. Next.
Finally, it has been a week where the Oscar nominations have been.
Yes, the Oscars
announced.
and the Razzies were both announced this week.
Yeah,
Happy with the Oscar nominations overall?
I think so. I mean, we're at the point now, aren't we, where there is little to no variation from, the Golden Globes, the BAFTAs to the Oscars. So you've got this point now. We had, that first set with the Golden Globes the other week, and you know what is going to be.
Yeah, you kind of
nominated.
know what's coming. I think there's a few
The-
surprises in there.
The differences are more. Is there going to be a difference in the awards?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything
I think
particularly controversial. Is there?
Wayne said it well in our Discord when he said it seems like a lot of good people have been nominated this year. which is nice.
I hope they remain good people in this.
Yeah, they just seem like wholesome people who deserve their awards or nominations at least.
Yeah.
Do you want to run through Best Picture?
We'll talk about a few of them.
few.
I think we want to look at possibly doing a bonus
We'll do
episode
some
nearer
sort
the
of-
time. We'll do a bit of a prediction game maybe.
Yes,
and some scoring.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, nominations for Best Picture. All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yep.
Netflix's sort of awards movie of this season. Avatar: Way of the Water, which incidentally is now the 5th grossest movie of highest grossing movie of all time. This week it passed Avengers: Infinity War.
Do you know anybody who's seen it?
No, again, still not. Or only a couple.
Somebody's massaging figures somewhere. I'm convinced now. I'm really, really intrigued to see how this is happening.
The Banshees of Inisherin.
Yep.
Elvis.
Yep.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I really like saying that.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
The Fabelmans. Tar.
Ta.
Top Gun Maverick.
Yep.
Triangle of Sadness. And Women Talking are your Best Picture nominees.
How many have you seen?
Two.
Okay, I've got you beat. I've seen 3.
Okay. I need to watch All Quiet on the Western Front and The Banshees of Inisherin.
You do need to see both of those films. I've seen The Banshees of Inisherin. I've seen Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Same.
And I've seen Top Gun Maverick.
Same.
I hadn't even heard of Women Talking.
I don't think that's hit us yet.
I don't think it has. Or Triangle of Sadness, I'm not going to lie. Tar is everywhere at the minute. That's being advertised all over the place. Elvis I need to get to. I'm going to see The Fabelmans, if not next week, the week after.
Okay.
And Avatar, I probably just won't. I'm not going to lie. If I had to pick now, if I had to pick what I want to win, it would be Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't think it will.
I think Spielberg might pull a few rugs out.
Spielberg's winning one of them.
Does it not feel like, it's a movie about, it's semi-autobiographical and it's about making movies?
Yeah. Hollywood's going to love it.
Lot of Oscar boxes.
I think he'll win Best Picture or Best Director. I don't think he'll win both. But
yeah, I think that's
I don't know
fair
which
shout.
one he'll
I think
win,
that's
which way around it'll be. Best Actress?
Kate Blanchett for Tar, Anna de Armas for Blonde, Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie, Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Again, it's a really open category. It could be any of them.
Do we want to point out that Anna de Armas is nominated both as Best Actress and Worst Actress at the same time?
Yeah,
for
she's
Blonde?
been nominated for the Razzies for the same.
What's the point in the Razzies?
I don't know. I've always defended the Razzies in the past, but it's becoming more difficult as it goes on. Nominating a child is a dick move.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. I mean, I think Drew Barrymore called him out on it this week, and she's right. It's just not.
Would it not help?
It's not in the spirit of it.
I know this wouldn't happen, but if you were truly doing a proper Razzies, like, it'd be full of films that we watch on Bottom of the Street.
Yes, it would.
And actually, that'd help those movies.
We do that. It's called the Botscars.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it would actually help those bad movies to have some publicity. That's what,
Yeah.
Why are we in a position where the same movie can be in both? That's just bullshit.
It's just stupid.
It's headline grabbing bullshit.
It is.
Isn't it?
That's all the Razzies are now. They're just there to grab headlines. I mean, and nominating a kid is that kid could grow up to become the best actress in the world.
Yeah.
But she's got this nomination now, might put her off acting forever. At 12 years old, and somebody says to you, "You're terrible at that."
Yeah.
You're just going to stop doing it.
Yeah.
And I hope she doesn't, because she got nominated for Firestarter, and Zac Efron's fucking much worse in Firestarter than she is. So I hope she hears that. Firestarter's not a good movie, but it's a dick move to nominate a child. Best Actor.
Austin Butler for Elvis, Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Paul Mescal for Aftersun, Bill Nye for Living.
Bill Nye's first ever Oscar nomination.
Really?
Yeah. Surprisingly. There's 3 people there that could win that. Colin Farrell's not winning it. Paul Mescal's not winning it. I think Brendan Fraser's going to get it because Hollywood owes him an apology and a favour and pretty much everything he's got coming to him.
I think you would class him as the hot favourite.
Yeah, but then Austin Butler as well. You can't really look past him. But I'd love to see Brendan Fraser win it. I hear The Whale's fantastic. That's, again, on my list for the next couple of weeks. So hopefully he gets it. Best supporting actress?
Angela Bassett, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Hong Chow, The Whale, Kerry Condon, The Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Stephanie Chu, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I was surprised to see both of those get nominated.
Tends to mean a cancelling out, doesn't it?
It does usually.
In Oscars.
And they are both great in it. I think... I don't know. I don't understand those two nominations. I'm not going to lie. The best two things about that film are Michelle Yeoh and Ke Huy Quan.
I do wonder if this is Marvel's first acting Oscar.
It is Marvel's first.
No, I mean, but actually,
it's their first nomination
to come away with a.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's their first ever acting nomination from 28 films or whatever it is nowadays. Yeah. That's crazy, and it's great. I think Angela Bassett's got that sewn up. It's definitely not going to either of those two. Kerry Condon's good in The Banshees in a Sharon, but she's not really in it much. I think that's all Angela Bassett's. Best supporting actor.
Brendan Gleeson, The Banshees of Inisherin. Brian Tyree Henry in Causeway. Judd Hirsch in The Fablemans. Barry how do you say his name? Keogh in The Banshees of Inisherin. And Ke Huy Quan in Everything Everywhere All at Once. He's the guy everyone wants to bring it home.
I'd love to see him win it.
How happy that he would be. It would make me very happy.
It would make me very happy as well. At the same time, though, I'd love to see Barry Keoghan win it. Because he's a great little actor. You know, he went through 13 foster homes when he was a kid.
Wow.
It's incredible that he's pulled his life around to the fact that he's now got an Oscar nomination. It's insane.
I do wonder if Judd Hirsch, he's, as an older actor, a bit of a Hollywood legend.
A complete Hollywood legend, yeah. Yeah. It's a tough category.
I'm not saying that's who I would vote for, but I can see a lot of voters going for him.
This is the thing with the Oscars as well. It doesn't always go to the best performance.
Yeah.
It goes to who would you like to see win it.
Yeah,
I think. Should we finish off with Best Director?
Yeah, and I think there's a glaring omission from Best Director.
Okay.
So nominated are Martin McDonagh for The Banshees of Inisherin, the Daniels, Kwan and Schneert for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Steven Spielberg for The Fablemans, Todd Field for Tar, and Ruben Östlund for Triangle of Sadness. Where's James Cameron?
Yeah, where is James Cameron?
It's the fifth biggest movie of all time. It's a pioneering method of making a movie. And he's not even nominated.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
Now, I don't really care how good Avatar 2 is, but you can't deny it's a technical, step into the unknown. Yeah. So why is he not nominated?
I don't know. I think it kind of eliminates Avatar from the running for Best Picture as well. Yeah, I don't think they're thinking about it as the best film. Apparently, I was reading something the other day that said that the Best Picture winner, I can't remember how long it was now, it was a long time, it's the last 7 or 8 years, has also been nominated for Best Director and Best Film Editing.
Okay.
So it's had those 3 nominations and it's won Best Picture. And this year there's only one film that's got all 3 nominations.
Ooh.
And it's Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
So that's interesting. So, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see it's late this year, it's March the 18th or something, it's much later this year. So yeah, we'll do some sort of bonus episode before the Oscars come out. And we'll probably leave the Razzies alone this year. It just doesn't feel nice.
I agree.
But yeah, we'll maybe have some sort of competition to see who can predict the most winners. Because there's a lot of awards now. Cool, that's it for the news. 40 minutes into the episode, we've done the news.
Good news.
Have you watched anything good at the top of the stream?
No, that'll save you some time. I haven't really watched anything this week.
I took one of your recommendations this week and I've started watching Abbott Elementary.
Yeah, I haven't watched any more of that, so I've still only watched about 4 episodes.
I think I've taken over you then.
Yeah,
I've got like 2 left, I think. It's a really weird show.
Yeah.
Because it's good. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
But I'm not laughing at it.
I don't know if
it's supposed to be.
I really enjoyed it. I thought this is a nice show and I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't.
It's just not funny.
I wasn't. No, it's funny.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
We've only got this first season
over
here on Disney Plus. I'm aware the second season it's got a lot of weight behind it and critically at the minute saying how good it is. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
See when that arrives over here.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, but I'm not
and
finding it humorous. I'm just enjoying it to watch it. I watched last Sunday night, I think it was, the axe-wielding hitchhiker
Okay.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's a true crime documentary. It's really, really good.
Okay.
It's a really interesting story. Do you know the story?
No.
Do you remember the axe-wielding hitchhiker?
No, should I?
Yeah, it was big at the time. I think it was like 10 years ago now.
Okay.
It was big on like social media. He was the first like social media celebrity.
Okay.
Basically, he was a hitchhiker, and he got picked up by a guy, and then this guy smashed his car into a van and crushing a black man. This guy then got out of the car whilst this hitchhiker's in the car,
Right.
and tried to murder another black lady, and claiming the whole time that he was Jesus. This guy just had a mental break.
Oh,
And
when you said about the Jesus part, that does vaguely ring a
and
bell.
then so this kid, this 17-year-old hitchhiker,
Yeah.
gets out of the car and knocks this guy out with the blunt end of a axe. Hatchet. It's the hatchet wielding hitchhiker, It's called. He hit him, smacked him around the head a couple of times with his hatchet.
Yeah.
And saved this woman's life, basically. And he became an internet celebrity for doing so. He was interviewed on the news. He's got oodles of charisma. The world went crazy for it. He was on Jimmy Kimmel for a few, like 3 or 4 episodes. He got his own YouTube channel. He was still living on the streets. They were talking about doing a fly in the wall documentary about him from the producers of the Kardashians. And then 3 months later, he was arrested for murder.
Oh, great.
And it's a really interesting story of how the media just took on this guy without knowing who he was.
You piqued my interest.
And
I want to watch this.
then he became this completely other person who's impossible to deal with. And it turned out, I mean, he may or may not be justified in his murder, but that's for the courts to decide, and they decided he wasn't.
Okay.
So he's now serving 57 years in a high security prison
wow.
or something. Yeah, it's a really interesting story. I was really fascinated by it. So yeah, it's an 80-minute documentary. It's
cool.
Snappy. There's loads of real footage on there because he was all over YouTube at the time. Definitely check it out.
Excellent.
And then I went to the cinema on Wednesday of this week.
Okay, good.
I went on my own to the cinema
lovely.
for the first time ever,
on
I
you.
think. And I went to watch Megan,
Oh, yeah.
or
Talked a bit
M.
about
as it's
Megan,
now
didn't
called.
we?
We talked a little bit about it. It's a killer doll movie.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. No, you can't pull up any trees being a killer doll movie. You are what you are. They're all the same. Chucky, Robert, and now Megan.
Yeah.
They're all the same style. It's good. It's entertaining. It's been edited down to a PG-13, so a 15
Oh,
in
really?
the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently the R-rated cut is much more gory and violent,
Sure.
and they decided they needed to aim it at teenagers. So it reminded me.
Does it lack a bit of bite then?
I wouldn't even class it as a horror film.
Oh, fine.
Okay. I just
Right.
wouldn't. It reminded me, you know how people say how Gremlins is a horror film?
Sure.
It reminded me of that. It's got this like family feel to it, but then there is violence in it.
Yeah.
And that's what Gremlins is. Gremlin 2 is a comedy, but
Yeah.
Gremlins is a horror film. And it's that same sort of... It had a 90s family film feel about it, but then she starts murdering people.
Okay.
And the ending's all right. The dog does die.
Look, I mean, it's been pulling up trees, and we
Yeah, it's
mentioned it
making
last
good
week.
numbers. It's entertaining.
Sequel is already.
Yeah, M. Forgan. I don't know. It's a killer doll movie. They're all the same. If you like them, you're going to like it. If you don't, you're not going to.
Yeah. Okay.
I worry the technology is a lot closer than we realise it is.
Sure.
After seeing some of these AI tools that I've been playing with over the last few weeks. But yeah, I feel like we might be getting close to it actually happening.
Never trust a Megan.
Never trust a Megan. That's what Harry was told. Politics.
So she's all right. That one.
She's all right. That Megan's fine. This Megan's a killer robot, not that Megan.
Well, the thing I like about Harry and Meghan,
Oh, we're getting into it.
say what you want. You have the chance to tell your side of the story.
Yeah.
But what makes me happy about whenever they have publicity is that they seem to boil the piss of exactly the right people.
Yeah, every time. They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. The people who get annoyed are people I like to see annoyed. So
I think
that's fine by me.
Netflix reported a big jump in list and viewer numbers, didn't they? Subscriber numbers.
Yeah.
Much more than people were expecting. And I think that's down to those two.
Yeah.
I think it's as simple as that.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. I was kind of on his side until he released this book. And then I'm kind of like, oh, you're just milking it now.
You got, yeah.
Right, should we do a real talk?
Sure.
What was this week's real talk, Nick?
Talking of Oscars, simply which actor should have an Oscar but hasn't?
Yeah, who's been missed out on over all these years? We got some responses on the socials. Do you want me to go through the socials first?
Go for it.
He says, without them open.
Classic. Every week. I do the same with the Discord.
So the first response that came back to us from a guy called Ryan L. Terry, RL Terry1 on Twitter, is for a vote for Michelle Pfeiffer.
It's a good shout.
He's put a gif of Catwoman. I'm assuming that's not what she's expected to win the Oscar for, but
I don't know.
It's
I think
surprising
that
that
is
she
a
hasn't got
great performance, to be
yeah,
fair.
yeah. To be fair, you're not wrong.
And I think in many ways, Batman Returns is quite underrated.
Yeah, I'd give you that.
But, yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer is a good shout.
So that's what I thought when I seen it. I was like, I'm surprised she hasn't got one.
Yeah.
But she hasn't, so Ryan Terry thinks she should have one.
It is a good start of
We
10.
then had a response from the Fake Ass Radio Show, which is
Yeah.
another podcast. Gyllenhaal should have one.
Maggie?
Don't know. Doesn't
Jake.
specify.
Maggie's had a couple of nominations.
She has. I'm assuming
one last year.
I'm assuming they're going with Jake.
I would assume so.
And I think that's a fair shout.
Is it... Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler is a great film.
Prisoners.
Yeah.
With Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
He's great in both of those.
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko is what brought him to the dance.
Yeah. Absolutely. He's great in Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Whatever you think of that movie, he's great in it.
Yeah. That's another good shout.
What's that gay one?
Sorry?
Brokeback Mountain. Could have had one for that.
Wow.
I've got one more.
Yeah, please.
This one's a bit more controversial. It's from WFOD Show, which is another podcast. I can't find out what WFOD stands for. It doesn't say on their profile. They may want to sort that out. They've gone with Jason Statham.
Okay, lovely. Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Give him all
I don't know what we're giving him one for, but we're giving him one.
What's the one where he can't slow down? 'Cause if his heart rate slows down, he dies or explodes. Give him for that.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that should have won all the Oscars.
I can't remember what it's called.
Is it Crank?
Crank.
Yeah.
It is Crank.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's it from the socials. We get anything in the Discord?
Yeah, we got quite a few. Samuel Holland says Tom Cruise.
Yeah. It's surprising that Tom Cruise hasn't got one.
I mean,
I don't know what you'd give him one for. Any particular performances that stand out for you? I did ask somebody, didn't answer. Tellingly.
I mean, the big one was Magnolia,
Yeah.
which he didn't get anything for. I mean, he's not been nominated for Top Gun Maverick, but Top Gun Maverick itself has been nominated for many awards currently.
Yeah.
Do
Do you think he's one of those names that just gets overlooked because of who he is?
Possibly.
Tom Cruise is super famous. Does he need one?
Wait,
So like Brad Pitt, he only got one just recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I think he didn't get, I think he got nominated way back for Born on the 4th of July.
Okay.
It
feels like when he's in his 70s or 80s, he might get one.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So,
but it did spark a good conversation in the Discord because Sam says he constantly pushes his films forward and has an absolute insanity with stunts, which led later on for Smileyton to say, well, why don't stunt performers get Oscars?
it's a very good point. And then your response to that made me laugh out loud. Because you went, you can get one for doing a haircut, but you can't get one for setting yourself on fire.
It's true.
It's very true. I didn't realise there wasn't a best stunt performance at the Oscars.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that.
So I think we should allow stuntmen as an answer. It's not strictly the
All
question
stunt performers should have an
because
Oscar.
we said actor, but yeah, 100%. Why isn't there an Oscar for best stunt sequence?
Best stunt performance,
Yeah.
best stunt production, best... It's
Start-
surprising
start
considering
that petition.
stuntmen have been in films since films have been a thing.
Yeah.
Since cowboys have been falling off roofs of saloons.
Oh, you argue like Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton,
Yeah.
stuntman.
Yeah, absolutely. It is surprising. But I'd like to point out Nick wasn't taking anything away from people who cut hair.
No,
It's just a funny joke.
not at all. Yeah, it's absolutely deserving of an
Yes.
Oscar for hair and makeup, but also for stuntmen, please. Smileyton's official choice is Alan Rickman for either Die Hard or across the Harry Potter films.
I think it's surprising Harry Hickman, Alan Rickman hasn't got one. Not necessarily for those films, but yeah, it is surprising.
Yeah.
It's a good
I
shout.
feel like
It's a good answer. When he put it in, I was like...
particularly his Die Hard performance has grown in legend over the years. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of a bit of a strange.
I don't think Die Hard was as big when it came out as it is now, though, was it? It was it was never like the top film of that year.
I'm not sure without checking.
Came out in July as well.
Yeah,
It's not a Christmas film.
100%. Ross is going with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, again, I was really surprised when I read that name.
And similar to my nomination, which we'll come on to, Samuel L. Jackson has an honorary Oscar.
Okay.
But hasn't won one for a specific acting
role
performance. Ross cites Django Unchained, but pick
any Samuel L. Jackson performance.
Any one of many fantastic performances by that guy.
Yeah, it's surprising.
Alex in the Discord is suggesting Willem Dafoe.
Yes, another good shout.
Yeah.
It's a really
Never
good
won an
shout.
Oscar.
Yeah, surprising.
The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago.
More than that now.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago.
My honourable mention.
Okay.
I had to go and double check
Right.
this one because I knew she didn't get one for this movie, but then I was like, I think she might have an Oscar.
Right.
But she hasn't, and that is someone who's been nominated 6 times for an Oscar.
Wow.
And has won 0.
Okay.
And it's only Glenn Close with more nominations without a win.
Okay.
Glenn Close has 7 nominations, no
Never
wins.
win.
Amy Adams has 6
Wow.
nominations, no wins. But what the performance I'm thinking of is in Arrival, for which she did not even get nominated.
Which is an absolute travesty. Because there isn't a more Oscar-worthy film than Arrival.
Yeah.
Arrival's a fantastic.
And she's
it
amazing
should have been
in
an
it.
award grabber. She is amazing in it. She's amazing in pretty much everything she does. That's a great shout.
It's my honourable mention.
Okay. That's a great shout.
Yeah.
It's better than some of the things that have been mentioned. So. What is your official answer?
My official answer. Can I cheat slightly?
Nope.
Because the question was... well, I might have to make Amy Adams my official answer then. The question was, which actor should have an Oscar but hasn't?
Yep.
This guy was in films. So I'm
Right.
getting you on a technicality.
Okay.
I'll go with Alfred Hitchcock,
Oh, that's a great shout.
who was given an honorary Oscar in the late 60s by the Oscars, who went, oh shit, we've not given this guy an
Alfred
Oscar.
Hitchcock's never won an Oscar.
Nominated 5 times as Best Director and won a big fat 0 Oscars.
That's really surprising, and yeah, that's a great answer. I will let you have that.
Thanks.
Because it doesn't have to, I don't. Yeah, it doesn't have to be an acting performance. I guess that's just badly worded.
Never won
Real
an
talk.
Oscar.
That's really surprising.
I was gobsmacked. I had an inkling to that again. I went and checked.
Nobody changed cinema more than Hitchcock did.
Yeah,
in that
he was
time
given
period.
an honorary award.
Wow. Basically, we forgot about you. Here's an award.
Sorry about our past mistakes.
Good shout. Good answer.
What's yours?
I think you'll be surprised by mine in a way.
Okay, I had before I came here tonight a pretty good idea of who I thought you would choose. So I'm interested to see if you will or not.
Okay, I wonder if I have chosen who you think I'm going to choose. That's interesting. My answer is Jim Carrey.
Yeah, that's who I thought you were going to choose.
Which is surprising
I do
for
not
me
disagree
because I do not enjoy comedy films. And I'm not saying Jim Carrey should have an Oscar for his comedy performances.
No.
But some of Jim Carrey's serious roles are fantastic. And he's never even had a nomination.
Yeah.
And the fact that he didn't even get nominated for Man on the Moon is ridiculous.
It's
ridiculous.
There's a couple of real obvious ones there. Man, I don't think Man on the Moon is, as a whole, I think it's a patchy movie. But Jim Carrey is incredible in that movie.
I'd agree with that. I love Man on the Moon, but it isn't. I'm not surprised that hasn't won an Oscar.
Yeah.
What I'm surprised about is that Jim Carrey's performance wasn't recognised. And it only isn't recognised because films like The Mask and Ace Ventura exist. And the Academy are snobs when it comes to that sort of thing.
And the other big one is The Truman Show.
The Truman Show.
I think if The Truman Show is made now,
Yeah.
with Jim Carrey where he is in his career now,
It'd be a shoo-in.
he is 100% getting a nomination.
Yeah.
And I think he has a great chance of winning.
Yes.
Because that dropped out of nowhere straight after this string of huge comedy roles,
Yeah.
I think it was absolutely just discounted.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's why Man on the Moon got discounted as well. It is because things like Ace Ventura exist.
Yeah.
And it's a travesty. Even things like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah.
Again, his performance in that is incredible. Jim Carrey as a serious actor is brilliant, and it is a travesty that he's never even been nominated. But the fact that he didn't get nominated for Man on the Moon galls me to this day, because I would say it's one of the best acting performances I've ever seen from anybody.
He was. We can claim a bit of patriotism here.
Okay.
He was nominated for best performance by an actor in a leading role by BAFTA for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. He didn't win.
He didn't win.
He did get the nomination.
nominated.
Yeah.
I mean, and Jim Carrey's an insane person now, and he probably isn't ever going to make a comeback and get this awards that he deserves. But back then,
yeah, never nominated for an Oscar.
No, I think it's the only choice for me.
Yeah, it's a really good.
Is that who you were thinking I was going to say?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was surprised nobody else said it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Because I was worried I was going to have to think of another one. And I couldn't.
Fair enough. No, good choice.
Cool. That's another real talk done. And another wave done, I think.
Yeah.
Do you want to briefly talk about this week's film?
Come back to this very feed on Thursday as we will talk about the legacy of a white-tailed deer hunter. Don't let the title put you off.
It is as boring as it sounds.
Yeah, not a great title.
Josh Brolin and Danny McBride.
Yeah. Are we saying inverted commas comedy again?
Yeah.
Oh God, please don't let me like last week.
I don't think this week's is going to be as controversial as last week's. I'm intrigued to see what you thought of it, I must admit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of fun talking about it.
I think so.
There's some fun scenes to go through in this film. So yeah, come back on Thursday and we'll talk to you about the legacy of a white-tailed deer hunter. Until then, goodbye.
Cheers.
Bye.